Auntie. Come over this way, Bubba. I want to sit here. You want to sit here. Oh, shit. You know I don't want to do it here. Also, I think they're sexy.
Thank you. I love my rolls too. So, hi everybody. Welcome to the Witching Hour with your host, Nina.
Miranda. And the candle that
So this week's episode is going to be on the Witch's Harvest. If you don't know what that is, Miranda will explain.
So it can be called Lammas or Lugnasa. I swear I'm going to pronounce that wrong. It is actually a Gaelic word. It is celebrated for Wiccans and pagans alike.
Mm-hmm.
What it has to do is it's one of our Sabbats. So it is the first harvest that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this is just us preparing for the dark months that are going to come.
Okay.
You know, kind of like how we do our big, our big Samhain ritual. If you guys have not been down here for that, you should totally come and check it out. We all do we do our circle, we do an opening and a closing.
We call in the ancestors as well.
Yes.
And most people get a message from your ancestors. And then we eat and have a potluck afterwards, and it's just great.
Yeah, and the food's amazing. If you ever eaten with witches before, I mean, we're great cooks.
Yes.
And yes, we use salt. So, yeah,
salty.
There's that big misconception that, you know, witches can't use salt because it's part of the devil. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
How about you guys? Have you guys ever
I
heard
just
that
feel like
story?
I want to say I'm melting. I'm melting.
Actually, so I read this forever ago, and this man, he realized that his wife was disappearing certain nights of the night, right? And then, so finally he thinks that she's going to see a lover or something.
Yeah.
So he sneaks out after her, and when he gets there, there's this huge bonfire, and there's food, and supposedly they're all having orgies and doing crazy shit, right? Maybe they are. I don't know.
Possibly.
So the wife sees him and she's excited that he's there, so she makes him a plate, and supposedly he asks for salt during the ritual, and poof, they all disappear because we use salt a lot, especially in the shop or when we're doing cleansings or even in our own homes. Apparently it's one of the many tools to get rid of the devil, and they were all devils because she was a witch.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
That makes sense. No, that's a cool little story. I love like the mythological stories that go behind a lot of the phenomenon that, you know, the planetary phenomenon that we have happened. So there is one with the eclipse. Okay.
Okay, I'm down. Let's go.
Okay. So there's
Let
a
me
brother
fix my
and
chair.
sister. Melina is the sister, she's the moon, I believe, and then the guy, I can't remember his name, Anagon or some stuff like that. And they were fighting against each other, so they weren't working with each other. And this is what causes the eclipse. So with this myth, it was like the gods are fighting with each other, they're battling or they're angry, right? And it's the brother and sister that have to come together. So with some folklore, whenever an eclipse happened or they saw it starting to get the reddish, the dark, you know, where the moon and the sun were colliding, they thought that they had to go and apologize to their neighbor. And they all came together to unite so that the brother and sister could unite and the sun and the moon could go back where they were.
Like the block parties, like the old school block parties, y'all.
Yeah.
Kind of like when our families migrated here, you know, it was all about family love and light and crazy shit, like one little,
Yeah. You get together and you feast. So yeah, that would be their time to go and repent to their neighbors or whoever they were pissed off
like,
with.
bitch, I cursed you.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
And the crazy thing is, like,
I don't think any of my neighbors have ever really liked me. Well, no, my ones that I just moved from, they all loved me. I guess for the most part.
See,
I don't know.
I am a nice person, but nowadays people don't like to talk. Like, they don't like to engage, entertain each other, which I'm okay with because I don't like people up in my business, but at the same time, you know, where's that?
That camaraderie.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
can I get some sugar? Can I get some flour?
Hey, I need ketchup. No, just kidding.
Now we go to DoorDash or
We really do.
you know,
Like, I am not asking.
the delivery system, yeah. But anyways, that's just way off subject.
It's not, though. It's really not, though, when you think about it, because, you know, like I said, we're our families. They did the work. They migrated this way. Like, growing up, too, I'm sure with your family
Yeah.
growing up, you know, all the women
migration.
had certain things that they did.
So like I was just talking on the phone to somebody and letting them know like how my grandparents, and this is how close it is to me, you know, my grandparents and my ex-husband's grandparents used to migrate back and forth from like Idaho to Texas to work in the papa, to work in the beets, the onion, the corn, you know, all of that, and that they would go back and forth, but they did it as a family unit, and it was like flocking together. And you know, and that's the thing about harvest, is it brings everybody together. It brings together your multitude of what you're going to save throughout the winter. You know what I mean? Back in the days when they would have strong winters and they didn't have grocery stores, you know, it was whatever
you
you
did
planted.
rely on your neighbors. You know, not everybody had a car. Not everybody had a
Right.
phone. You know, if your child got sick or you had to quarantine the house, they would all go to a different family's part of the house. Like, so yeah, there really is some unity in this, and I think that's what the first harvest kind of just stands with, basically. You know, a lot of times you will want to bake bread. You will also, if you can't bake bread, go buy you a piece of bread. It's fine. If you can't do that, just leave out some cornmeal. What we're just doing is we're honoring, bringing in the goodness. Oh shit, it's not on there. I'll put it on.
Okay, yeah.
I'll put it on. That's what I was trying to do earlier, but you know, I get sidetracked.
It's okay. She does get sidetracked.
I get sidetracked a lot, especially during retrograde, guys. Like, it's very sad that I'm not normal.
Yeah.
Not during retrograde.
And you'll notice too, whenever it's like the fall time of the year, that's when most people's abundance or their energy's high is coming in, because it's what you planted in the spring. Whatever you planted in the spring. And this doesn't, I'm not talking about plants, guys. Like, I'm talking about what you plant inside of y'all. You know,
Yes.
energetically,
Yes.
spiritually, mentally, physically, whatever you planted. When it comes to the fall and it's time to round that up and look back at your successes or gather your prosperity, you know, that's going to show how hard you worked on yourself, and you'll notice that most people are abundant during that time of the year, you know, and it is harvesting. Whether you harvest or not, whether you're a farmer or not, it doesn't matter. That is just the way the life cycle works.
Absolutely. With that being said, I know that there's different rituals that you can place. So again, with the cornmeal, you can go ahead and leave some cornmeal out. Again, this is a grain, this is a harvest. If you have like people that do the same thing, you guys break bread together. There is nothing wrong with that. Cornbread is a very, very big thing, especially during Mama's. You can make a honey cornbread and share it with people. I was going to do that, but I was late anyway, so that's me. Anyways.
I like cornbread.
Just saying. I'll make you some
If
cornbread
you know,
tomorrow.
you know. Okay, if you know, you know. I could not help myself. I'm so
I know.
I couldn't help myself. Holy shit. Okay, don't mind me. I've just been on one. I like pig's feet. Yeah.
Mom.
Yes.
I do.
We
You're
work
like,
so well together.
You're like the only person. I'll throw out movie quotes and everybody else looks at me like I'm an idiot. Then she'll pick it up, and then the vice versa.
Most
So
definitely.
it's fine.
Most definitely. I just had to throw that out there. I thought that shit was funny.
Or our little singing moments in the shop.
Mhm. We do have singing
We
moments.
have
We
a
break
lot.
out in musical status.
Yeah, we do. Yesterday, unfortunately, we had a really close friend lose her birdie. And she's just so heartbroken. And so this one, of course, being this one,
Mhm.
she starts singing Boys to Men.
Uh-huh.
And then I chime in with some of the parts that I know. And then we had her crying again. So
Yeah, she literally was crying. I'm like, you made me cry. Well, I even incorporated the bird's like name into the song because I make up my own lyrics. But I don't freestyle rap, so don't even ask.
Don't ask. Don't ask. I might
Oh,
rap.
jeez.
I'm a maybe. We're not gonna do
That's
that.
so
Like
funny.
everybody, that's the going joke. Don't
Yeah.
nobody come for me on this because you know it's right. On the reservation, all our cousins are trying to make it big. They're just waiting for their next big break. They're starting their rap. They're
Career.
yeah. Yep. It's very big.
So funny. Oh,
Like
shit.
fry bread. No, just kidding. She's like, we're
Holy
shut up.
shit. No, because I'm ready to jump in there and we're just going way off subject here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So
We're fun.
why I want to ask you for everybody, why do people use cornmeal or flour? What does it represent?
So it represents the grain. It represents the harvest. In the very early ages, a lot of things that we did, they had to be sustained for long term. You know, there were a lot of places, even now, some places here in Utah, they have huge grain silos and things like that. What people don't know is how flammable sugar and stuff like that really, really was. So it was something that was a very limited commodity. So you would try and do things. That's when biscuits came into play. That's when, you know, breads, you know, without yeast, because yeast was not usually readily available. So you would do like a quick bread, which again would be the biscuits, that would be the cornbread, that would be, you know, the meal cereals and things like that, just to sustain them. Plus a lot of them, if you worked on the land, you know, you needed, that's where we needed the carbs, not here nowadays, but you know.
But I mean, it was also because people would starve during the winter, and I'm just gonna let you know that like bread was sometimes all they ate. We know this is history, but also you need to look at it, bread as life. You know, when you're looking at communion or giving some type of offering, you know, bread is life, and that's what it represents, is life. And so, you know, that is, the carbs were what kept people alive most of the time throughout hard winters.
Yeah.
And now we take advantage of that fully. We're overcarbed, you know, but still, the gesture of breaking bread, like you said, break bread with your neighbor or your like-minded people, your family, that just shows like it's more than the bread. It is the love, the community,
It's
the
bringing
unity.
life together and life.
Yes.
So
And it's harvesting your people.
yeah, you're harvesting your people. You're taking the last of the light. You know, your first harvest, you're taking the light, you're taking all of that with you, and you're taking it into the darker months. Now, that's usually when we start to celebrate the other Sabbaths. But, you know, the first harvest, I feel like, is a very big thing. It really is. And I don't care where you're from or, you know, nationality, things like that. If you ever stop and look at every part of the world, you know, there's no way that these certain stories or certain things exist, or these same similarities that we do, you know.
They exist in all cultures with different
Different ways.
details, but it's the same baseline.
Yeah, so I remember my first Samhain, I bring tamales. People went off the chain.
Oh, I bet they did. I would have too.
Yeah, and then the next I think you did. Didn't you?
I
think
love
you did.
tamales. Hey, I'll take the next one or something.
They were like, hey, can we take their... I was like, go for it. I hate tamales. Go for it.
Yeah, if you make them, you're kind of like worn out by the time you get to eating them.
See, and that's why you get together and you do the big things. I don't know if you guys have ever had it, but it's like one of my favorites. And we do it mostly during the summer because we can only get the corn here in the States. We can only get like the corn leaves here in the States during the warmer months. So we'll go and pick the corn leaves. The leaves, not the corn, the leaves, guys. For choripo, for nagata tamales. And so you make this huge soup and it's cooked outside and it's got meat and vegetables. My favorite part is the cabbage. And then you take the tamale, which is a grain, but everybody, it's like, you know, especially those are Hispanic culture, you know, everybody has a job on that tamale table.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. And if you don't do that job right, you're getting your ass smacked by your grandma. right upside the
I'm
head.
grandma and I do the smacking in my house. Just saying.
I'm the one that has to fix shit. I'm like, oh, okay, I got this. But no, and it was the same with the nagata tamales. You take the tamale dough, you open it, you put the chili and the cheese, close it, and then you wrap it with the corn leaf.
Oh, nice.
And so we got smart and started freezing some of the corn leaf so we could have it during the winter.
Oh, nice. I like that. Yeah.
But I've had a crap of a time trying to get the tamale or getting the corn leaves. So
Have you?
I haven't made it in a few years, but it's one of my favorites. And I think when I first started having kids, that was one of the very first, one of the first parties that they did for me while I was pregnant was we made chili bowl. It was, oh, it was so good.
Yum, I bet. So if any of y'all out there have access to corn leaves, let us know. Let Miranda know because I'm fixing, like, that sounds good and I'm hungry right now.
I was like, we should go eat. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
So yeah, it's the harvest and it's bringing people together. It's loving, it's caring. Again, you want to do something, light a candle, throw out some cornmeal, bake some bread. I know that there is a big misconception. I don't know if you've ever heard this, but they say, you should only bake bread during the day because it's rising.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm like, don't jump when something's in the oven because it'll flatten the cake. That's all I know.
Do it.
You don't want the cake to have a little bump or else you're getting your ass smacked. Oh, shit. That's funny. That brings back so many memories.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so throwing out the seed, the cornmeal, the flour, this is all honoring the abundance that you've had throughout the year.
Definitely.
And even if you haven't, it's just being grateful for what you have.
For what you do get.
And that is what it represents. And most people that are not abundant monetarily, they're abundant in family and unity and support. So it's all good, I mean, either way, I would much rather be prosperous that way than monetarily. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I say too. Because we've been to some fancy parties and some of those things we think, oh my gosh, but I always go home and I'm just grateful for the family and the love that I do have.
Yeah.
Afterwards. Because,
Okay, so I'm gonna, I brought up the solar eclipse earlier, and the solar eclipse is when the second is, okay. So
mañana, y'all.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. I love you tomorrow. Okay. So with the solar eclipse, there's a lot of myths that I grew up with, when the eclipse came out, and it was something with red thread, put red thread, I don't know if it's your forehead or your belly, I can't remember.
You put it in your mouth. You're supposed to put it in your mouth and then you stick it on your forehead.
You stick it on your forehead. That's what it was.
Yes. You put it in your mouth, so you it's gross, como baba and everything.
It smelled like breath. Woo!
We know when you didn't brush your teeth. No, just kidding.
Your forehead was all sticky.
No.
Yeah. And this was for younger children so that they didn't get attacked by the evil, the darkness, anything like that, or get sick. Also for pregnant women, I've always heard the nickel on the belly button or the quarter, I can't remember what it was, but I know it's something silver, where you put it on the belly button so that your child doesn't come out with developmental issues.
Yes,
Okay.
I've heard of that.
Yes.
Yeah, and you would take it and put it as a cross.
Right.
So Anna just messaged and she wants to know if there's any manifestation rituals we should be doing or shouldn't be doing. So since we are on the eclipse, I do want to touch on that. As Native, we're taught we do not do any particular manifestation rituals or eat or drink or do certain things during the eclipses. And the reason for that, and I know Hispanic families do as well, because my grandma used to say some stuff like that. But so I was always taught you don't do them during the eclipses, but the eclipse shouldn't be very long. So if you wanted to do something as a manifestation, I believe that you could. I think, if I remember correctly, this one you're not supposed to manifest anything. This one's just about healing, going inward, being dormant, saying, you know, your prayers, you know.
You put water out.
Oh, put water out. Cece says to put water out. Yes. So that way, you know, at least that's what I was taught. So you'll see me, and I'll come in and I'll have my head covered or something, because that's what we were taught. Growing up Native, we weren't supposed to eat or drink because we believed that during the eclipses, depending on which eclipse it is and what it's representing, that it's for different spirits, and during those different spirits, you know, you don't want to have all the crazy bad luck or bad spirits or those things that are running
and
around.
It's because it's a transition.
Yes, it's a transition.
So being a transitional phase, you don't want to manifest anything because it could get misconstrued or turned around. Okay, you don't want your manifestation to be one thing and it comes back totally opposite because you did it during the eclipse energy. And I'm going to tell you that energy does drag on
Yes,
for
it
a minute.
does.
Even the eclipse doesn't last long, the energies will still last. I'm not really sure how long. Do you know?
It's usually 3 days after.
3 days after. Okay.
Yeah, which is fun. It's great.
Yeah. And I was also taught, like, you don't cook food during the eclipse
Yeah,
because
you don't.
it will make you sick. It will be bad.
Or you could have spirits that are doing things to the food. I know of some stories where, so this one's a crazy one actually. This woman, they went to do something on the reservation, and she had made this huge goat soup because she figured, okay, there's going to be a lot of family, we can just do it. Well, she had prepared it and stuff during it, and when they got there, everything, so when they did their prayers or rituals, when they got up to go eat, the goat soup had gone bad immediately like that. So I know of some stories like that. We're always taught not to eat or drink anything during the eclipse because we could be ingesting evil thoughts or bad spirits.
And that does come back from the ancient natives, the ancient, like, even in China, like, some of the Filipino backgrounds, Korean, you know, different ones like that, they believe, they believe that the eclipse is a negative thing. You know, they believe that it is a scary thing. It is brought up on the gods battling, you know, the gods are angry, and so it would bring fear, and that's why they didn't do anything. And it's like, okay, right now we're not gonna celebrate, we're not gonna eat, we're not gonna drink. What we're gonna do is bow down and worship. You know what I mean? And that's what they would do to like ask for forgiveness when they thought the gods were angry. And
Anna was like, okay, I can do all that. No cooking.
hell yeah, no cooking.
We got you, girl. Just
Hey.
say they told me to do it. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We're gonna
That
have a
gives
bunch
you
of angry
excuse.
husbands.
I know.
Or
That's so
boyfriends.
funny.
Or boyfriends.
Kids.
My mom said not to cook. No.
Right.
That means your kitchen stays clean tomorrow.
Yeah, it sure does.
No, I'm just
It
kidding.
certainly does. Yeah. Also, it's known that the eclipse brings chaos in the air because of the transition. You know, it's
And with us being in retrograde, expect more.
yeah.
Expect more chaos.
Yeah, you know, just no spell work tomorrow or the weekend, y'all. Just keep that shit to yourselves. Wait till Monday, Tuesday, and then you could do your spell work. Highly suggest that. And with the water being put out, the water will absorb chaos. It absorbs the negative. It absorbs anything that is not of
What you're like.
of what your environment already is. Okay, so that is why you put water out.
If you wanted to do it a little bit more witchy, I'm sure you could put the bowl of water out. Use a glass, guys. Please just use a glass bowl, a glass cup, glass.
Yeah.
Okay, glass. There's reasons for that. We'll get into that later. But yes, use glass. If you want to do it more witchy, depending on where you're at, if you are of the Hispanic background, you can use blue enamel, which is laundry bluing. I do that all the time. You can throw in Florida water, which we have readily available here. So if you want to stop and pick you up some, you're more than welcome to.
We're open tomorrow from 1 to 4.
Good job. Oh, wow. Or even flowers. I was always taught to put, white daisies in, just because it's going to absorb, but it's also going to keep the goodness
Yeah.
as well.
So I was going to tell you, so the Italian culture, they're probably the only ones that believe something good out of the eclipse, okay? So what they believe is when you plant flowers and you plant herbs or anything during an eclipse, it is going to be brighter, bigger, and more
I love
abundant.
that.
I know.
love that.
I learned that, and I thought, oh wow, that's probably the only positive thing that I've really seen, as far as belief systems from other cultures. So yeah, I mean, you never know. Whoever tries it, let me know, okay?
Whoever tries to let me know. Okay, Anna said, I put a rune on my right wrist for protection work with some toxic people. Oh, because she works with toxic people.
Oh,
Would this backfire during the solar eclipse? No, you shouldn't. It's protection work. Again, the eclipses are not something to fear. Whether, day eclipse, night eclipse, they're not something to fear. This is a transition. And this is your time to do your healing and protection. As natives, we are actually forced to stay indoors. If it's during a solar eclipse, we're forced to stay indoors. Lunar eclipses, again, we're forced to stay indoors. And during that time, we do our prayers, which is singing or chanting, it's being together. A lot of times we'll get the family together in big groups and stay close together, and we'll do our chanting and our prayers, or we'll talk about good moments. So again, this is about protection. This is honoring your family network. This is you honoring your ability as a mother. If that's what you're doing as a father, as a sibling, you're honoring the strength that you bring into that whole core. None of us walk this path alone. And some of us do come from broken families, but we make our own tribes throughout that. And those connections are definitely lasting ones.
yeah, definitely. And so protection work is not going to be altered, because that's just something that people do on a regular, and it's not transitioning anything. It's just putting a barrier, so if that
Put
makes
your
sense.
barriers, yeah.
Put your barriers up.
Put your barriers
As many
up.
as you need to. Yeah, but I was gonna say too, Hispanic culture, we are told not to go outside during the eclipse, especially if you look at it, you're gonna turn blind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and there's some truth to that.
There is some truth to that.
They've done scientific study, you guys know. So yeah, it's just because that doesn't have the protective covering that it normally
and
would.
it's the UV rays.
Yes,
The UV
and
rays coming from that.
our ancestors knew this before there was whatever that word.
Scientific.
Scientific backup. There we go.
She said back up. Oh my gosh. I love you, Miranda.
I know. I
Yeah.
love you.
So
We're
some
fun.
things that you can do for protection. If you don't know how to protect yourself, your family, your home, some things you can do is salt. Salt, okay?
Salt.
Plus it'll keep away the devil, okay?
You mean us witches?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Oh,
we
shit.
probably shouldn't laugh about that
Yeah.
as much.
And it doesn't matter what kind of salt. Like, it is your intention. Table salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan salt,
Blue salt,
blue salt,
sea salt.
sea salt.
Mhm.
yeah, anything. You can put salt around your home. The water, of course. You can put the flour, the cornmeal. Hey, I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, Florida water. Anything that you feel for protection.
I want
No.
to throw something out there with the Florida water, but I'm a little bit of a pyro. So if you're not experienced, make sure you have backup. She's like, Brandon, no. No, I really am a bit of a pyro. It's kind of bad. But so you take the Florida water, and I was always taught to do an X with it, but you're going to do it outside. Make sure you sweep off your patio. Make sure there's nothing that can catch on fire and go, because it will. You're going to take it, and you can either put an X, you can put a big ass circle. It doesn't matter. You're going to set that on fire. Stand back. Make sure the kids aren't just all over. But the spiral, what it is it's sealing your property, and so it's going to pull upwards. Now, you know that it's done when it goes out automatically, and yes, I know how alcohol burns, y'all. I'm not an idiot, but there is spiritual belief that what it does is it seals that part of your property. And so I've done that a few times. Again, I'm a pyro. If you don't know what you're doing, make sure you have backup.
And also, I'm going to say that I'm going to throw this out there. You could probably use the green alcohol as well, just because that is also used in cleansing. So, and it works pretty well.
Be very careful with alcohol, guys. Alcohol does produce a fume that is
Oh
toxic.
yeah, not inside.
So make sure it's very ventilated where you're choosing to do this. And again, safety first. Don't jack stuff up for yourself and blame it on us, okay? Because we get blamed for all kinds of stuff for no reason.
Right. Do you know of any stones that they can use?
I would go with just the general black stones, tourmaline, obsidian. Obsidian's great for any kind of repelling evil, even demons. So, take the kids in the bedroom and throw it at them. Just kidding.
Yeah, and I've always been taught to put it over the front door, the entrance, right at the little door hinge. Throw a little stone up there, and the back door, wherever the entrances are, and it was just told that people's shit will stay outside and they won't come inside your house.
Yeah, that or selenite. Selenite's great for stuff like that. I was taught to do the evil eye, the metal hole, and you're gonna place it on, I think it's the west side of the wall, but I always placed one in front of my home above the door because sometimes we don't have great neighbors and they like to gossip, especially if you're the neighborhood witch. So
yeah, I agree. Okay.
Or put it around your plants. I used to do it when I had a garden. I'd always place it outside around my plants because sometimes that good yard, good garden stuff gets a little competitive.
Yeah. So with the chaotic energy too, that does come through. You just want to kind of keep calm, keep anxiety down. So Florida water, lavender, just things like that to keep anxiety down. Especially people that are very highly sensitive, you're going to feel the shit out of this. Okay, don't let it consume you. Don't overthink it. Ground.
Shit out of yourself.
Yes, ground the shit out of yourself, she said, so that you aren't highly affected. Because if you just let yourself loose, you're gonna, it's gonna be really hard to come back from that energy.
And it can be really intense, and that's okay. It's okay. Make sure you have a safety net. That's what I always tell people too with shadow work. Safety net, guys. You're people. I know that I could call her anytime. She knows she can call me anytime. And then we call Cece anytime.
Yeah. Well, we do definitely have each other's backs with that. So with the lunar eclipse where everything goes dark, I want to bring up something else that people used to think it was the end of the world, and it's kind of weird because it kind of is the end of one chapter, the beginning of another. You know what I mean? When the lunar eclipses come in to play. So I don't know. I just kind of could feel like back in the day, you can imagine they were scared as hell, not knowing what the hell's going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything's just dark, and there's not even a moon out.
And then there's us witches that are like dancing around. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wild and still, guys. I think I need to go back to the powwow. I was calm for a couple days, and now it's like, no.
Right. And then with the sun, the solar eclipse, where everything turned like reddish orange, and people thought that it was blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well,
it was scary.
Didn't help that our Aztec ancestors or our Mayan ancestors would, do blood sacrifices. But to each their own. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that get on my nerves that I wouldn't mind. Hey, do it for our people.
Chopping your head off.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we need to quit.
Yeah, we just need to behave. Oh my gosh. Anna says thank you. You're welcome.
So is there a difference between Samhain and the witch's harvest?
Yeah. So Samhain, I would believe, is more of our last harvest as we're going into the dark days, and that's when we cast the circle of protection. You know, and it also has to do with the veil being as thin as it is, and us being able to call out our ancestors and things. I mean, you've been there. You've highly done some work there. Normally, what we do is we cast our circle, and we say protection and things that we want, and then you and I will go around those circles and kind of give a message of mediumship. That one's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's really eventful, and it's really touching. Like, it's just like kind of a release
It is
of
a release.
everything
I love
else.
that
You know
word.
what I mean? And that's how I want to explain that. So, yeah, just if you haven't like followed As Above So Below on Facebook, you should do that. We will have the Samhain. I'll make notes here on YouTube. When, where, time, availability, all of that stuff, and it's just a good group of people to celebrate that with.
Yeah, and either you bring a small donation or you bring in food, and that is one of the big ones that we do. That's one of the very big events that we do here.
Not to mention our Witch Fest coming up.
Yes. This next month, y'all, it came really fast.
It did. The
Came
summer
really
has
fast.
gone by so fast. So I'm not really sure on the date. Do you know the date?
September 14th.
September 14th.
Right before my birthday. Remember, guys, I'm a Virgo. It is my birthday month in September. Just saying.
Okay, then we're gonna celebrate you.
And they're gonna have all kinds of naughty photos of me doing dumb shit. Just kidding. Really
Oh,
proud of
yeah. No, I'll make sure I post all of them. Okay. I will.
Just make sure I look good. Get my good side.
Oh,
Like, yeah, we got her good side, even though she's
Yeah.
in the toilet. But it's
Right.
great.
Somebody holding the hair back. But yeah, so the Witch Fest, I believe all of our stations are full for vendors, so we don't have any more space for vendors. It's fun, food, local people that have amazing gifts in artistry and different things that they provide. I don't know if the author and the editor that were here the last time,
I think they might be here.
if they're
for
going
this
to be
one.
there for this one too.
Yeah, and it'd be a good
with their
time to go
book.
ahead and purchase their book, or just to meet and greet. That's the good thing about these things is, like we were talking about earlier, community block parties. This is our community block party.
Right.
These are our people. These are our crafters. A lot of people that come to these are very gifted in different ways, and it's just good to know that you're not alone.
Right, and if you are looking to get into the paranormal, metaphysical, witchy, psychic communities, this is probably the place you want to network at. You want to go around, introduce yourself, get known by people, in order to broaden your own network.
Or just if you're starting out and you're a baby witch, it's good to be a place that you're not going to be judged. And again, there's so many people that do show up that have their own special abilities, and it's good to find out information. And again, we are a family in the shop, we don't discriminate. Your practice is your practice, and if we can help you along the way, then we're always more than willing to.
Exactly. Especially with advice, with anything, as long as you don't come in with a shitty ass attitude.
Yeah,
We're good.
because we get a lot of those. We get a lot of those, actually.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it on the eclipses, the harvest. What other harvests are there, or what do you call it?
Sabbats.
Sabbats. There you go. That's
Cece,
the word
what
I'm
would
looking
you
for.
consider like the most
Mabon and Samhain. That's-
Samhain,
I don't
yeah.
know what it is.
Okay.
But there are several ones. It
Yeah,
just
there's
kind of
8.
Yeah, there's 8 of them. I was gonna say there's some. It coincides with the months or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, so that's why I'm asking, and just put that information out there.
Yeah, but the main ones are usually, I just thought since it fell on that date, we should talk about it.
Right.
We should
Yeah,
definitely talk
definitely.
about it.
So make sure you stay protected, stay up, know that some of these are myths, but if you believe it, do it. Like, don't not do it just because.
Someone's telling you not to, or
Yeah,
you think
somebody-
it's silly, or someone's making you
Right.
feel bad about it. If you feel the urge to do it, do it.
Right.
Um,
Most definitely.
so with some of the eclipse things, you did talk about the red string, chewing it and sticking it on your forehead. If you're pregnant, safety pin your underwear, wear something red. Red string around your belly. There's a lot of energy that's going to be out. I was always taught that during the eclipses, they supposedly can eat part of your baby. If you're a parent, you don't want to worry about that. So,
Yeah.
you know, better safe than sorry. I don't know. I had my daughter do it. She thinks I'm crazy. It's fine.
Yeah. Better to be safe than sorry, right?
Yeah, and she's not pregnant no more, but baby's going to be fine because he's got a grandma. Just saying.
Right. Yeah. So.
Oh, yeah. I'm a grandma, guys. I'm excited.
Congratulations. She's a new granny.
I'm a new granny. I have joined the grannyhood.
Ooh, ooh.
So
Alright.
I'm excited. But anyways,
If you guys have any questions, or even if you know that there's anything that we missed, because we are knowledgeable in what we know and not what we don't know, so anything, like hit up our email, thewitchinghourasap@gmail.com. Of course, you're on our YouTube, you know what it is, the Witching Hour -888. And you know, even if you just want to talk to us, stop by As Above So Below in Roy, Utah,
we're
and
right next to the liquor store.
right next to the liquor store.
So you guys can go in there and get your spirits for your spirits.
Yep, exactly. Ready made.
Ready made. Oh.
Alright.
Oh, don't forget to smudge.
Yes.
Smudge copal. Copal's great. Do some smudge, cedar, tobacco. Tobacco's a great offering. I forgot to throw that out there. Tobacco, you guys, is actually grown. Just so you know, it's a plant. So we're recognizing the harvest there too. You're like rounding up. Okay. I think I'm done. Sorry guys.
Okay, no, it's okay. You know, we don't plan any of this out. We just talk and we let it happen. So that's what we do.
All right.
Anyways, thank you for watching our episode. Hopefully we fulfilled all your needs and all your questions about the eclipse and, you know, the witch's harvest. But thank you for like just watching our channel, y'all.
Yeah, supporting
We're
us.
very
Thank you.
appreciative. So I'm gonna put that out there. This is my harvest little letter. Thank you for supporting us always. I know. I'm so sensitive. You know, no, I appreciate everybody that supports us in every way, even if it's not through here, like through other ways, you know, and the word of mouth, the referrals, the, you know, just
The liking
trusting.
and sharing. And
Yeah, liking, sharing, the trusting us to do work for you
Yes.
is completely awesome too.
Yeah, we definitely don't take that for granted. We are
No.
very grateful and appreciative of that. And then those of you that come in and join us that are like family, you become family.
Exactly.
So from our family to yours,
Happy eclipse, motherfuckers.
have a great harvest.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you want to turn it off?